Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order at 7:07 on my watch. Yes, I still have a watch. Barry Bellard, he can't make it tonight, and James, I guess we're just waiting for him. Do we have any public participants?
It looks like we have 4 people on from the public, so if you'd like to speak at this meeting, please use the raise your hand feature at the bottom of your screen and we can bring you over to speak. Please state your name and address for the record before you speak. John, you're on. You just have to unmute and introduce yourself.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted. Am I Michelle?
Yep.
Okay, and I guess no camera, but that's okay. Just for the record, my name is John Nuff. I'm an attorney with an office at 135 Broad Street in Milford, Connecticut, and I'm here on behalf of Costco Wholesale Company. I know that there's agenda items that are on your agenda, specifically with regard to the demo permit. I think it's clear, based upon the correspondence I've seen from Deputy Corporation Counsel Spar, in terms of what the commission is being asked to do. I just wanted to alert everyone that I'm here as well as my client is here, Mark Marcusano from Costco, should you have any questions. At the end of the day, the objection that was filed does not meet the very simple standard of claiming that there was a architectural historical significance to the subject building, which is the former DoubleTree. Happy to answer anything else when the agenda comes up, when the agenda item comes up, but I just want to let you know that we're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public for some other reason?
So I'll just preface again, if you'd like to speak, use the raise your hand feature, and I can bring you over to speak if you'd like. Or if you're on a phone, you could press *9 and that will trigger for your hand to be raised. Don't see any other hands, Dana.
Okay, reports from boards. We have Diane Jelleret from Norwalk Historical Society. And you're muted.
Good evening, everyone. As soon as I said, I thought I had kept it unmuted. I'd like to thank Eric Chandler for the great presentation that he did for our Black History Month lecture on Sunday. It's Slaves, Free Men, and Haitians in the American Revolution. And I'd like to thank the board who were able to attend. So again, thank you very much, Eric, for that presentation. And we'll be doing that again. Next up, we are, the Norwalk Historical Society is participating in the Norwalk Public Schools African American Heritage and History Festival. That's going to be tomorrow night. Those that can make it from 5:30, I think 5:30 to 8 at Brian McMahon High School. This is, I believe, the second year that they're doing it. It's always fun to also watch the students, performing and participating. I think this is a great thing that the Norwalk Public School is doing every year. Next, we are partnering with the city of Norwalk. This is going to be the first year that they're going to do an Easter egg venture, and it's going to be at Mill Hill Historic Park on Saturday, March 23rd. So this is part of, I've been working with Anna, who's the special event coordinator, and Sabrina. So they're bringing new things to Norwalk, and this is one of the new things that they're bringing to Norwalk. And it should be fun. It's going to be from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, and it will have an Easter bunny to take pictures, and Easter egg hunt. So it will be fun, and it will be at Mill Hill. So it's free and open to the public. And I believe they've already started to advertise on Facebook, and we will have it on our website, and it'll be on visit Norwalk also. The other thing that we're doing going into April, those of you might know that we've done the Earth Day on the Green. It's been a coordinated effort with various organizations within Norwalk. So this is going to be the 4th year that it's happening. And we will also be participating again, and the city of Norwalk is really participating. There's a lot more organizations this year that are taking part. We will be working with the Norwalk River Valley Trail and actually helping to organize a walk usually from City Hall to Mill Hill and going along the Norwalk River. So there'll be more information about that. There's actually a meeting tomorrow. And as I said, there's a lot of participation from various organizations that will be participating this year. So everybody usually will end up on the Norwalk Green. Mill Hill will be open that day also for anybody who wants to take a tour, walk around and check out our gardens. So that will be on April 27th. So you'll be hearing more and more about that. And going into May, we are actually going to have Mill Hill open on Memorial Day. Going into that hasn't happened in a while, and we thought, you know, we want to participate other than walking in the parade to have Mill Hill open again to the public. So so we're looking forward to doing that in May. But there's something else that we're brewing for May, so you know, you'll hear about that within the next few weeks. But that's what's going on, and then we're also getting ready for Lafayette. You'll hear more coming up. Any questions?
Nope. Well, thank you, Diane. Next up, Patsy and or Doug.
Both of us, I guess. Doug can start it out. We both just got out of another meeting for the mansion, so.
And I just landed from New Jersey. Patsy will give you a great update on how things are going with the mansion. Susie couldn't make it tonight, so I'm assuming part of her role this evening. Thanks to Stepping Stones Museum and generously lending us the space as we did last year. That's great collaboration we're doing with them. We're going to be holding 2 lectures. The first one is April 14th from 2 to 4. It's Grand and Standing Iconic 19th Century Hotels. Lockwoods Matthews Mansion will kick off its 2024 lecture series with Grand and Standing Iconic Century Hotels, featuring Deidre Dim, a renowned architect who has worked for the Waldorf Astoria Plaza Hotels, as well as other prominent New York City institutions and collections that reflect the centuries of the city's culture and change. Another lecture at Stepping Stones will be on June 2nd, featuring food historian, those foodies out there, Becky Diamond, called Gilded Age Dining. We will learn how to all eat proper and how to hold our forks and soup and scoop our soup, as they would say. And that will be June 2nd from 2 to 4. Fairfield Museum has graciously, we're working collaboration in them to hold the mansion's Gilded Age Tea. We did not have it last year, and we've managed to find space, and they've been very gracious, and it's another collaboration. And that's being held at on May 19th from 2 to 4, and we're already 50% sold out. So if you want to go to our tea, our Gilded Age Tea, please sign up early. It's a fun day, and you get to wear the funniest hat you can. And I just, as chairman, I just want to thank you, and I'm sure Patsy will too, for all your support for our operating money that you submitted for us for the mansion for the year, fiscal year, and your support for the additional funding that we're looking for, so we can finish what we started. And then I'll just turn, are there any questions? If not, I'll turn over to Patsy.
Oh, thank you, Doug.
Okay. Am I on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, So the project is moving along. We're closing up the floors on the second floor, and they're starting to open them up on the third. And also have been digging the trenches in the basement. Basically, we're on schedule to have the building turned back to us the beginning of November. It is probably going to take us a couple of months at least to move back in. But with such a big project, you were never sure exactly when everything is going to fall into place as scheduled. So from our operating point of view, we have to be very flexible in what we're planning for the early part of 2025. And it is really hard for our staff and our board to be able to think in terms of, okay, if we can't do this, we can do that. But as Doug mentioned, we've had wonderful support from so many people, Stepping Stones and the Historical Society. We had lectures at the Mill Hill and the Fairfield and the Norwalk Library, both the main library and Sono. So that is very, very encouraging. Everybody's pulling together to help us. We are going to have the flea market again this year in September. And I just came from a gala meeting that we're getting ready for our October gala, and we're having that this year at Shore and Country. And hopefully in 2025, we'll be back into the mansion. We are working on reviewing the alternates, which are really the finishes. As you know, we broke the project down into many phases, and I've been working in the archives, and I just found a fascinating photo from 2007 when we started this project. Yeah, 2007. And we all looked a lot younger, and not all of us had gray hair then. So it just puts into perspective, though, what a difficult and challenging, not just from the construction point of view, but obviously from the financing of it. And so Norwalk and the state, and with our help from our Senator Bob Duff, we've been really very grateful for the support that we're getting. So we're excited to be planning for the future, but we continue to watch the project, and we're there every week. We meet with the state continuously with both preservation, the state preservation, and the development office. So everybody is working together to get this done in a timely way. I don't know if anybody has questions. No questions. Wow.
You're in
I
line
guess
for sainthood. How's that?
Now that means I can go and watch the girls' basketball game. Yeah, getting ready for the opening is going to be amazing, because I don't think I've talked to you much about what's happening with the front doors, but we have a separate grant that it's a matching grant, and one of our trustees has done the match with the state for $150,000 to restore and get all the metal treatment back on the front doors, which are they're just going to be a knockout. It's going to get a lot of attention, and we're going to have a lot of new visitors coming to see it, because it's just absolutely amazing. So we got those bids in this week, and hopefully by the end of this week or early next week, we can award those contracts and get that work going, so that we have brand new front doors. Not brand, we have restored. We have wonderful old restored doors to welcome everybody when we open up.
Great.
Patsy, next time on the meeting, can you bring a few more pictures forward?
Yeah,
Just-
actually, we can send them out. I'll send them out to you.
Okay.
Yeah, because we do have a lot. It's just we're
Yeah.
happy to do that. Yeah,
Thank
you.
it's the tunneling in the basement is amazing.
I caught a glimpse of that and I got really worried, but I know
Yeah,
it's all
well-
good. It's just, I'm just like,
I know.
oh my
Well,
God.
I know. It's just it's enormous. It's an enormous project.
Right.
It really is fascinating.
And I'm sorry, if I can interject on that, what you just brought up, I've showed, I'm back working again with the project for Stu Hunterton. We got talking about, what is modern with the thermal cooling and heating and just how far, and I showed them pictures of the tunnels that are downstairs that used to take the chill there. And it's like, they're astounded. They go, when was this building done? I go, well, it opened in 1869. So when you're dealing with builders, it's amazing that the city of Norwalk, and thanks to the city of Norwalk, us being the trustees of making sure it's an institution we don't appreciate how far in advance this building was. It was a green building before there were green buildings, so that's all. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's,
Okay. We'll see you next month.
yes, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Go Yukon, right?
Yeah, off to the girls. Sorry.
Okay, I don't have, I didn't get any building reports. I gotta pester them more to send me building reports. Cemeteries, of course, I walked through Mill Hill the other day. It looks good. That's about it. Financials I don't have. So David, I guess, is not here. I guess.
Dana,
yeah.
do you want to share our
Well, that might be
meeting?
under old or new business.
Okay.
Yeah. That magic word. So
Board of
financial.
Cemeteries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's perked up. Financials. I guess someday we're gonna have to recruit someone that has a financial whiz. So old business, is that where we would talk about the Alms House, Michelle? Mark wants to hear about it. So in 2008, while Polly and I, and also Sharon, were researching Pine Island, I came up with 95 names for people who were buried at the Alms House Cemetery. I never came up with people who were removed from the Alms House Cemetery, so that means they're still out there somewhere. Now, yesterday, fast forward to yesterday, David from, I forget the
Terra
name.
Search. Terra
Okay.
Search Geo.
Yes, they had 2 of their machines, well, their
Ground penetrating radar.
DPRs going across the Norwalk High field. After meeting last week with folks at City Hall, we kind of decided it had to be somewhere along the edge of what was used mostly, what we can surmise was used mostly for cultivated property, undercultivated property at Naramake Home. So we won't be able to find any information on that for at least a few more days, but hopefully we'll find something. If not, yeah, it's hard because every square inch of that place has had a bulldozer run over it, unlike most of our other places where Pine Island, you could see where people are buried that don't have headstones.
If we reach the tip of the iceberg and it's not all in the project area, we should be prepared to continue that if need be in a separate kind of way.
I'm not sure how, I think it's $5,000 an acre,
Yes.
and that's the grant.
Well,
So
yeah, you could go for a grant, but
yeah.
I just want to make sure that if
Right.
they hit a few and it's just, oh, it's on the cusp of the project area and that's all that the Allen Lowe and the building really are concerned about, clearing that for construction, that that we can continue on and probably, I mean, I guess we'll
Right.
cross that bridge when it comes to it, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
mention that fact because I don't want to have this be like the end all, and also that the David from the Terra Search put together, it's not best practices, but it's for the contractors on how to deal with and how to look for.
Right.
You might know more exactly what he talked about, because I was just on a call, conference call with it. So that any projects going forward on that property will have that same information should they start digging or doing any work on the property.
Right. To be aware of, I forgot the term for it, but I mean, I guess, and so 95 is a pretty good, at least 95, because I haven't had access to all the books, because one set of book is too fragile to be out for the public to use. So we know there's at least 95, which is a good amount.
And the one that they mentioned in the newspaper article isn't on that list. So that's 96 at least. And so that makes me
Oh, yeah.
suspicious that there's even more.
I think I might have seen one removal for somebody, but so there's at least 95 people there, which is, again, a large amount of people to be under there somewhere.
I was told that people tended not to move cemeteries back then. I mean, if they did, it would have been a big note that they did that. But I didn't see it anywhere in the
Yeah.
Norwalk City town clerk records.
Yeah, so too bad we didn't talk about this 30 years ago with people who might have known about something there, but oh well. We'll see what we find.
Yep.
So on to new business, unless anyone else has anything to add. Saw Eric Mark was out there trying to dig around. No, he was. So new business, 789 Connecticut Avenue, former Doubletree Hotel. They did issue a pre-demolition order, and then we had a person make invoke a demolition delay. So let's hear what our visitors have to say. Mr. Knopf and from Costco, you have the stage.
Sure, I'll bring him back over. He is on the attendee side, not the panelist side.
Thank you, Michelle. Again, for the record, my name is John Nuff. I'm an attorney with an office at 135 Broad Street in Milford, here on behalf of Costco. So you received a letter, DNA Lodging LLC, which your deputy corporation counsel has determined that entity has been extinguished by the Connecticut Secretary of State. Nonetheless, it submitted a letter arguably within the time period that's required under your ordinance. It simply says the reason why he's asking for the delay is do not demolish on, I'm just quoting, do not demolish on 789 because DNA Lodging LLC is the eventually owner when the court ceded. The second owner, Costco Warehouse Corporate, is eventually going to be void. That was the basis on which he has asked for delay of the demolition. Your ordinance is exceedingly clear. It says the sole basis of such an objection be that the building, structure, or part thereof proposed to be demolished is architecturally or historically significant. So his objection fails of its own accord. He simply had to make an allegation as to architectural or historical significance. He has failed to do that. That is a prerequisite for the imposition of any delay, whether it's 120 days or shorter. So I think what it is that your corporation counsel has suggested, and which we heartily endorse, is that you make a determination that the objection fails to meet the standard, and then you don't have to do anything else. And by the way, I don't think any of us would disagree that the building has no architectural or historical significance, but you don't even need to get there. The notice itself or the objection itself fails of its own accord for failing to make the requisite element.
think we'd all agree on that.
Okay.
Uh,
And really, so Leo Guerrero's been very helpful. I actually know Leo, our daughters went to school together. Our Deputy Corporation Counsel Spar has been terrific. I think everyone's just trying to do the right thing and approach this in a very cautious manner. And we appreciate that the commission is approaching this cautiously as well. But I've looked at some of your other agendas and minutes, and this is not a tactic that is unknown to you, that some member of the public is trying to object on a basis other than historical architectural significance, but using this as a lever or a wedge of the demolition for some other purpose. And so we would appreciate it if you would, make that finding, and so we can get a demo permit and we can begin the construction of much needed improvement to the site.
So how do we proceed with other commission members? There's that word I can remember, Mr. Vice Chair. The
Dana?
yes,
Just to preface,
Right.
we had public participation on your agenda in the beginning, and then we allowed Mr. John Nuff to speak. I would just, in all fairness to anybody else on the line that would like to speak, this isn't a public hearing item, but since we allowed others to speak, I think it's
Right.
only fair that anybody else that's on the call right now, if you'd like to speak, please raise your hand and we're happy to bring you over to speak if you have any comments. And press *9 if you're dialed in on a phone.
Is this an item that we need to make a motion on or anything, or is it just an FYI? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Going with
it
that.
wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to just make a vote. It's kind of a discussion item, but I think just to have it squared away, we put it on your agenda, have you guys discuss it, just, seal it that it's not historically significant, that you guys didn't want to, move on anything else. So that's basically just have it clean practice.
All right, so if I may, I think Mr. Nuff is correct that the delay request fails to meet the basic criteria of what a demo delay would call for. And it's as if the opposing party, the objecting party, is asking the Historical Commission to sit down at a crystal ball and make a determination on how the courts are going to adjudicate this particular matter, and find in favor of the objector. That is not part of our mandate. And absent any other discussion, I would make a motion that we not make an objection to the demolition of the former DoubleTree Hotel at 789 Connecticut Avenue.
or to lift the delay.
Or to
Yeah.
implement the delay.
Lift the demo delay.
Yeah, okay,
Uh,
then it's part of the motion that we lift the demolition delay and let the project go forward.
Okay, the next part of our action of the motion is
We need a second.
a
I'll second the motion.
second, third, fourth.
We have to all vote.
And vote.
And vote. Lift the delay. I think that's unanimous. Again, I guess people are trying to find a loophole for an ulterior motive. Or misunderstanding things, anyway. So thank you, representatives of Costco, for your time. Do we have any other members of the public to say anything?
There's a handful of people on, there's 6 from the public on tonight, but no hands were raised.
Okay. I guess in that case, we are moving on from 789 Connecticut Avenue to approving the January 31st, 2024 minutes.
I have a couple of minor corrections.
Yep.
Under report from boards, item A, second line of the paragraph. Slaves, the S should be capitalized. Freemen, the F should be capitalized, and freemen should be one word.
I was wondering about that.
And other than that, I found no other items that needed correction.
The only thing I saw that might have been left out is what time the meeting started. And since it ended at 7:14, it looks like we did all that in 14 minutes, but we started at 6 that day or thereabouts. So I don't know if that needs to be added. I guess we don't need the exact time, but
You could put approximately,
yeah,
approximately.
approximately 6 o'clock start time for that meeting.
So I make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second,
I agree. Uh,
we vote.
So you want to say all in favor? Or-
all in favor? The best minutes I ever read this year. Okay, in that case, it's time for Mr. Vice Chair's favorite part of the meeting.
Not that I don't love you guys to death and love you non-guys to death, but how can you miss me if I don't go away? So I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second? All in favor? Oh, Michelle wants to stay. All right,
Good night, all.
thank you, everybody.
Night.
Bye.